Let's see a preview from part 1 of One Too Many.
You guys wait!
Hi everyone, I'm Rin, a VTuber for the Afterschool specialist. One Too Many is about underage alcohol use. So let's take a look at the criteria for diagnosing alcohol use disorder. First, there is a problematic pattern of alcohol use leading to clinically significant impairment or distress as manifested by at least 2 of the following occurring within a 12-month period. There are 11 areas in which impairment may manifest. We are going to discuss the first 5. 1. Alcohol is often taken in larger amounts or over a longer period than was intended. 2. There is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control alcohol use. 3. There is a great deal of time spent in activities necessary to obtain alcohol, use alcohol, or recover from its effects. 4. Craving or a strong desire or urge to use alcohol. And 5. Recurrent alcohol use resulting in a failure to fulfill major role obligations at work, school, or home. As you are watching One Too Many, make a note if any of these behaviors are exhibited by one or more of the main characters. Let's watch clips from part 1. Some images may be disturbing. As the scene begins, we see Annie at a police station. Annie is played by Pfeiffer.
I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, I know what happened. But I'm not sure I know what... I can tell you what happened.
We are then introduced to Eric, who is climbing the roof of Annie's home.
Eric!
Eric is played by Kilmer.
Eric, what are you doing up there? What if my mom sees you? Oh! Eric!
As Annie and Eric pull up to the home of Annie's best friend, Beth, we see Eric's big bag of beers.
But first, you want one?
No. Maybe later.
Suit yourself.
Now, we know that a drunk as a skunk Eric was climbing Annie's roof.
Eric.
Listen, don't start, okay?
He needs a straw.
I'm not starting. Promise.
It's just a couple beers.
And a couple before that.
And a million before that. Got me on the roof, didn't you?
Yeah, I almost got you killed, too.
Come on.
That bag could hold a week's worth of groceries.
Anyone for beer? Tim? Maybe later. Maybe.
Annie accepts
Beth?
one of Eric's beers as an annoyed Beth looks on.
Abby?
Sure.
Mare Winningham plays Beth. Eric and Annie proceed to get drunk,
So
which
what?
annoys Beth and Tim, Eric's best friend.
You said so.
So what?
Eric's big bag of beer cans are spread all over the table. Based on Beth's expression, Eric can't have a good time without being drunk.
Get it?
It's because there's nothing to get.
Lance Guest plays Tim.
Every time this happens, every single time.
Forget it. Forget it. Forget it.
Let me help.
Hey, Tim. I was really great.
Oh, how would you know? You're always too drunk to taste anything.
Beth, what is your problem?
Eric wants to leave after Beth verbally lashes out at him for getting drunk.
I just want to go, okay?
Eric, please.
Please what? I want to leave.
Why does this always happen?
No one knows why Eric drinks so much.
Hey, where are you going? Where are you going?
He's too drunk. You can't let him drive. You guys wait!
Although Beth lashed out at Eric, she's in the middle of the street trying to stop him from driving drunk. Then the unthinkable happens. Let's continue our discussion on alcohol use disorder by looking at the 6 remaining areas in which impairment may be exhibited. Number 6. Continued alcohol use despite having persistent or recurrent social or interpersonal problems caused or exacerbated by the effects of alcohol. 7. Important social, occupational, or recreational activities are given up or reduced because of alcohol use. 8. Recurrent alcohol use in situations in which it is physically hazardous. 9. Alcohol use is continued despite knowledge of having a persistent or recurrent physical or psychological problem that is likely to have been caused or worsened by alcohol. 10. Tolerance is defined by either a need for markedly increased amounts of alcohol to achieve intoxication or a markedly diminished effect with continued use of the same amount of alcohol. And finally, 11. Withdrawal as manifested by either the characteristic withdrawal syndrome for alcohol, or alcohol is taken to relieve or avoid withdrawal symptoms. As you are watching One Too Many, make a note if any of these behaviors are exhibited by one or more of the main characters. Let's get back to Annie, Eric, Tim, and especially Beth.
Gotta move on this one.
As Annie
Get her
appears
neck brace
inconsolable, an ambulance takes Beth to the hospital. Although a police officer is talking to Eric, he is not giving him a sobriety test. Via flashback, we learn how Annie met Eric. Beth and Annie have been lifelong friends.
3 years and
What do we have to show for it?
Oh, we've had some stuff.
Yeah, but nothing really important. I don't want to be one of those people that has things written under their yearbook picture like quiet, nice person, always has a smile for everyone.
You're a beautiful person inside and out.
You'd look a lot better without those. Let me see. Oh, yeah.
An eyeglassless Annie catches the attention of Eric.
Would you take them on? You look like an idiot.
You don't seem to be having any problem.
Dad, would you give us a back?
Sorry.
Sorry.
All right.
No one is surprised that the future Batman would be attracted to the future Catwoman.
Not bad.
Eric and Tim ask Annie and Beth for a double date. Annie is immediately attracted to Eric.
Hi.
Hi.
Listen, we were wondering if you two aren't busy on Friday night, if you'd like to get together.
Okay.
Great.
Eric encounters his father on his way to pick up Annie for their first date.
Eric,
Hi, Dad.
you going out?
Yeah. Won't be late.
Oh, come on, Eric. You loaf all day, you go out every night. When do you expect to do any studying?
It's not clear if Eric is recovering from hangovers or if he's just a night person.
You come here a lot?
After picking up Annie, Eric kicks off his pre-birthday celebration with champagne.
Let's go where?
A little place I know.
Oh, yeah?
We discover that Eric wants to go to Drunkville.
What are you doing?
Ta-da.
Very impressive. But why do I get the feeling like you've done this before?
Only on my birthday.
Today's your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Almost. But I thought we'd start with a little early celebration.
But he doesn't sip it like normal people. He chugs it.
To me.
To you.
Who chugs champagne?
To you.
Although Annie waves off drinking more champagne, Eric ignores her. 2 hours later, when Annie and Eric finally meet up with Beth and Tim, they are intoxicated. The foursome continue to celebrate in Eric's car. Eric is so drunk that he is driving, recklessly scaring Beth to death. The 1984 national minimum drinking age raised the drinking age to 21. A review conducted in 1988 found that raising the drinking age reduced youth drinking, driving after drinking, and alcohol-related traffic accidents.
Fun, Beth?
Yeah, Bob.
This is the fun part, Beth. Come on.
I doubt it.
Watch the road.
Beth, would you like to sit?
I like nap.
Beth.
Isn't that fantastic? And now we should sing you Tim, but first give me that bottle, will you?
Eric, watch where you're going. Eric! Watch out!
Waiting 2 hours and then almost being killed was enough for Beth.
Good night.
An annoyed Beth slams
wait
the
a
door
second.
in Tim's face after being dropped
Wait a
off.
second. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
Maybe Eric was too drunk to realize Tim got out of the car. Let's briefly go over some observations made during part 1. In the second scene, we observed Eric climbing the roof of Annie's home. Later, he tells her that the beers got me on the roof, didn't they? In Eric's car, Eric and Annie discuss his alcohol use. In the exchange, Eric states that it's just a couple of beers, to which Annie replies, and a couple before that, to which Eric sarcastically replies, and a million before that. During the couple's dinner scene, he appears intoxicated, and there are a number of empty beer cans on the table. Since both Eric and Annie were drinking, we cannot determine how many beers were consumed solely by Eric before picking up Annie for their first date. Eric's father states that he loafs all day and goes out every night. He also asks him when does he have time to study. In the final scene, Eric is drinking while driving and driving recklessly. He is not only putting the lives of his passengers in danger, but also the individuals driving or walking on that street at that time. Next time, we will watch part 2. We will also continue to observe behaviors exhibited by Eric which lend to a plausible alcohol use disorder diagnosis. Thank you for watching.